Actually, machine the first year off the later.
Okay.
Put another one on. Build it, straight, fill it all up, and then make another gear for the.
Yep.
If there's any water issues or anything like that, drainage, whatever, we've got to change that. That's not a problem to do that. There's enough land to do the whole lot with everything everybody wants. The majority of you people have been calling me, which everybody calls me a lot, which I don't mind. I take every call I can, which is not a problem. There seems to be the driver training thing now is what we can organise with council, and we can turn that into basically a road circuit. We can have part of it for a road circuit, drifting, whatever. But as long as you understand that it's still a driver training session, but it will be a road circuit we made in there. Everything else is going on smooth. The club is running smooth. As I said, the club's financial, everything like that, and we're proceeding with council at the moment. Council's been brilliant to work with. I've just met the mayor. He's been really good. Jared, everybody's been absolutely excellent. They're not complaining about anything like that at all. So I think the way it's going, there is a few other little hitches we've got to get over. But once we get over that, then we'll be right, I would say. But we've got to get over those couple of hitches first, which I'm going to be working on the next couple of weeks up here to get that, hopefully get it done with everything. Now, with the noise issue, it's not really going to be an issue if we run within the certain times, the time limits of the council with everything. Speedway's got to run the mufflers with drags, just it's open till a certain time. And that's where it should come from the council. Yeah, about 9:30.
So there'll be tests and tunes during the week, that sort of thing?
Tests and tunes will be open all the time.
Marvellous.
The amount of majority, like I'm a dirt guy. I've been a Speedway since I was 5. But the amount of phone calls I've been getting and people response, the Speedway guys are there, but they're not sure. A lot of the drag racing guys that have rang me, a lot of the drift guys that have rang me, really polite, organised, on the ball all the time, which is good to see.
There's a lot of young fellas here that travel to Brisbane to drift their cars, and a lot of blokes come from further down to go to Brisbane, and a track here for these guys and for people coming from Brisbane this way and further up the coast, I mean, it's just going to be a win-win for everyone here.
Yeah, well, hopefully it will be a win-win for everybody, you know. So we've got to concentrate on, as a club, we've got to concentrate on what we're doing and focus on where the main people want, so we can start. You know, I was going to start doing the 30 mile and the quarter mile track, but we might just do the 3rd mile with the drag strip. And we had, if you look at that there now, we've got the burnout pad there, but we'll be putting the burnout pad in with the drags, I think.
Apparently Gimpy pad, burnout pads booked out every week of the year, so I mean, yeah, that's a win-win for you.
It's amazing, you know, like, I was never for that sort of stuff. But as it comes up now, with the phone calls and getting further and further into it, my mind wasn't blank from it, but it was there, but I've never really watched it. I'm a sprint car guy, non-wing guy, to be quite
Someone
honest.
just messaged me to shut
Yeah, that's right. So that, you know, in saying that, that's what I'm sort of like looking at now, go and turn the table around with the drag strip. They can, Cream is going to be going, Maryborough going, so it's not going, but it's still running, not going, but it's still running. So, you know, you've got to look at the thing there with the amount of phone calls I'm getting and the politeness I'm getting from people. You know, I'm getting sort of like the wheels are turning the other direction, basically.
Archfield winding up.
Well, Archfield's worn out. I've been in talks with John Kelly. He's happy to sort of like give me a hand when I want to do something. There's no problems there. They've had trouble down there trying to get land and tracks and everything like that. And I think it's going to be hard unless someone comes up with something, the Willowbank comes up with something.
QR's battling the council at the moment because they're having so much trouble with noise.
Well, Wagner's, which are up at Kumba, they want to build a track right beside the airport.
Well, they own the airport, don't they? It's just, yeah. So they got the financial clout to make that happen.
When I had a meeting with those guys, they want to be able to unload the GP bikes, the cars, at the airport wheel them through the fence, customs, then bang, straight on the track. That's their thing. V8 supercars are at the thing now where they're spending too much money on Willow Bank to upgrade it to one meeting.
The track's not the right track
It's not
for
the
it,
right
is
track.
it?
So Wagner's are pushing the issue. And they got the bucks.
Yeah.
They got the bucks to do it. And they're a nice bunch of guys. They're all brothers, nice bunch of guys. So I would say in the future that Toowoomba will become the destination for everything. They can fly out of there. Doesn't matter what, if it's Woolworths, whatever it is, that'll be the place, I would say, at this point. Willow Bank, it'll be there forever, but I think the amount of money they've got to spend on it, I think that might V8 supercars might drift away from there.
I would say so too. The track's not really designed real good for it.
No, it's a flat track. No banking or anything. When they built, they should have put banking or something, or gone up further, out the back and up around the mountain and then come down, which they still could do if they wanted to. If they wanted to spend the money, they could do that. But I don't think, he's tied up with Lakeside. I think that guy got killed the other week there on the bike, which has slowed a lot of people up, which Lakeside was never a good bike track anyway, too dangerous. So that's where I'm at the moment. As I said, we can change that'll be changed, not considerably, it will be changed, depending what it is. With the drag strip, it's going to have to be longer than what it usually is because of we've got to put truck braking in.
Because of Tribey and his car won't stop. Because of Daniel driving his car won't pull up. These two shoots.
What's that?
Group 1 cars, qualified track, that's where the money is. Each one come in with the crowds coming everywhere. It's all good to say that we get the street cars, but when the big show comes to town, that's what brings volume of people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, other businesses that aren't in those still can benefit from having people come through.
And Narrabee kicks off every time the big show comes to town. That place packs out every time the big cars come in Narrabee. You can't get a camping spot.
Plus the travelling circuits, you look at the like Power Cruise for instance, but there's other like Jambo and things like that. I mean, if it's got another destination to go, it's just going to do racing for you.
The other thing we're looking at too, we're only going to do big meetings.
That's fair.
One a month. We've already got Bike Week. That's going to be 5 days at Easter, 4 days at Easter. Since the Gold Coast is closed down, Bike Weeks, there's nothing happening. So. With Bike Week, you've got to change that thought straight away. The biking thing is gone. You've got to look at families because with the motocross track there, the scenario I look at is if we do Bike Week and keep it family, a kid can ride his 50cc Pee-wee down the motocross track. He can come up, jump on the dirt drag it, then he can go on the speedway track, then go from there. And then at the end of the weekend, how many points you got, then you run the finals. You can't do that anywhere in the world. Yeah. And that's what you've got to look at. If you've got that sort of scenario, that is going to be excellent. So, plus I'm in the bikes too, so.
It's got to be good for for Harvey Bay in with Maryborough for the whole economy, really, isn't it?
It has. It's got to be good for everything. I was just talking to the gentleman there about the schools and all that sort of thing. Everybody's got a vision, and the vision is that you've got to look after everything here.
Oh
basically.
Yeah.
So, and having, what Fraser on, that's a broadcast for starters.
Yep.
And plus, the grey guys and the big guys coming down, they're not here for 2 nights, they're here for a week.
Yeah.
So they've got something to do here, they can go there, they go to each whatever they do.
Yep.
People sign in, cruise, left 178, the truck comes up here, and the rest of the guys come in, hotels, they all stay in hotels. On the weekend, I just went to the shootout. The Group 1 guys, they didn't even stay there. They just flash those transporters and they fly back to the hotel, drive back to wherever. That's how it is.
Jared was just having a listen to that,
So getting back to real motorsport.
What's the council's vision on having two
Stand up, mate.
going forward?
Well, I think
Are they going to kill one off, or are they going to? What are they
Well,
going
the
to do?
council gets into DA first, basically.
Whoever gets in first.
But the council, I think, would work on merit.
But this would be good for the council too. I mean, you could have truck driver training, you could have your your learner drivers out there, they all do it out in my estate. I've got learner drivers every day just doing laps around my estate out Southern Cross. They got somewhere to go and to teach these kids to drive it, and defensive driving schools. I mean, this is a massive thing for all the young kids, and you've got all these towns all around here to service. You know, you got Maryborough, you got Childers,
that's all part of the whole
Bundaberg,
proposal,
you know.
driver training, and every kid that goes through school, even those ones that leave at year 10, they don't get driver training because only year 11 or year 12 does. So we want to bring in the younger kids as well. So if they're going to leave at year 10, they're going to get to learn how to drive, whether they're licensed or not. It'll be an enclosed road, it'll be insured, and they can go and learn how to drive.
So how long's the track?
No repairs.
How long's the road track?
I think that works out with the driver training. Anything, I worked out about 2.5 miles. So put that in kilometres, whatever that is. Not really savvy on that bit, but
No.
that's
How old are you, mate? 2.5
Yeah,
miles makes sense to me.
yeah. Same age. We must be the same age. But the big thing here, the big problem is in this region here, that there's no motels that are going to take B doubles. You drive around here, anywhere, there's not one motel that can take a B double.
Well, leave them out there.
Well, you can leave them out there, whatever you want to do.
Those crew guys will sleep with the truck,
Yeah.
but the owners will come in.
That's the only way I can see what's going to happen. And
The
security.
rule B doubles aren't allowed.
Yeah, they're not allowed in town or anywhere. So you go from there to here, the roundabouts and everything, you're not going to get a big transporters.
Most of the drivers stay with the truck anyway, it's sort of cruising, you know, they don't leave their truck.
Another thing what I was planning on doing was putting a car wash in there for that reason. With all the sprint car guys, we have a 2-night meeting or 3-night meeting, and they can't go anywhere, they've got to wash their cars. Soon they're finished, and I think if they can finish, take them all up, take them out of the car wash them, come back and work on them, that's going to save heaps. Then they just leave them there, go and stay in a motel. So that's another thing we're looking at, putting a 4-bay car wash in there for everything. Doesn't matter, anybody can use it. And there's plenty of water there.
That's it, Dan.
Big boat.
That's it, Dan.
Yeah, there's miles of water, they're more than what you think. It's, and now there's a thing, people have been ringing me saying now there's soil testing being done, this, that and the other. The only dirt that has been turned that I've been involved with when Paul and I got bogged out there. That's the only dirt that's been turned.
There's no Land Cruiser Park going in there.
No, there's a lot of clay there, which is good for speedway.
Plenty of
There's
clay.
heaps of clay. It's really
Still
good
on the
clay
car
too.
now.
It's black
How big
clay.
will the speedway track be?
Well, there's one going a third of a mile,
Yeah.
but I'm down at I've got to really console myself and that and a couple of my other people. Third of a mile track is good, but in America, a lot of guys, you've got a big motors to run it.
Yeah.
The general sprint car guy that comes and run, he can't run on a third of a mile track. His quarter mile is quite good, he's competitive and all that. Once he gets on the big track and the legs, he runs out of leg and that's it. The other guys go straight past
Is
him.
that changing the guard, but like Parramatta's a big track? A lot of the tracks in Queensland are tight. Sort of,
Yeah, well, Parramatta's a good track. Everyone's just a good track.
everyone loves it because
Yeah.
the distance, the length, you can wind it
But
up.
you put a fence around, you're going to like it.
Yeah.
You look at half.
Point, yeah, exactly.
You look at half of them drive, half of them have got the right rear out on the trotting track. So you put a fence around that track, it's totally different. I've been around it myself in a sprint track. And it's good, you don't have to worry about it. Flat out, you go off, you go off.
Late models.
Yeah. So that's the thing I've got to look at to see what size. There will definitely be a quarter mile bike track there. So I'm a sidecar guy from way back from Speedway. So there'll definitely be a track there for size and sidecars. Stock bikes. Deco, not clay. See, sprint cars stopped Speedway years ago when they went to clay. But that was years ago. That's not happening now. So within saying that, that'll be a separate track altogether. Totally separate. Definitely. I'm not going to put it inside like Perth, because you go watching guys go around, you're watching it like looking at ants.
Yeah, big tick.
So people, Lang Park's the best place to watch football. Well, Suncorp Stadium, whatever, to watch football because everybody's close, and that's the atmosphere's there. That's where you've got to get speedway, and people down there where they can smell and taste the dirt. And with the bikes, you go too far away. That's the way it is. But everything's going quite well. Everything. There's no hitches or anything like that. Lisa Desmond, she's been absolutely excellent. And Jet Brennan, they've been absolutely excellent. Tony Sibless, she's been really good. Got no complaints of anything at all. Paul's been really good. He's been doing everything up here that haven't been here. Janie's wife's been really good. The two boys have been excellent. And it just goes on from there. My support group down in Brisbane's been really good. They're going to be moving up. Well, I'll be moving up here if it goes ahead. I'll be moving up here. I'll be on the property virtually 24 hours a day with everything. So the track will be, if it all happens, the track will be open 24 hours a day, but that won't be 24 hours a day. But you can come wherever you want, but if we've got to turn the lights on or something like that, you have to pay for it. Well, unless we get solar lights, you don't have to worry about it. So, given that. The pits, well, to get it, when we get up and running, they'll be virtually bitumen and grass, where they're going to be looked after, with the tarpaulins and the plastic down for the clay, the guys, the sprint cars, the speedway guys, same as good. Toowoomba's doing the same thing now. Everybody's getting used to it, so the time it's up and running, if it does happen, they'll be all used to that. They'll have their tarps to lay down and everything like that, and they have little buckets to put their dirt in, everything like that. So that's pretty good in generally.
See, there's camping too, so people come from other places and stay.
Camping's a big thing. That was one of Lisa's ones. She wanted to put that in.
Good idea.
Which went in there really. When that works out well, we've got two areas where we can go. We've also now been given the area, if it goes ahead, behind the sewage treatment plant, which is acreage, I don't know, is pretty big beyond there. If we want more camping or big events, we can get that mowed down and everything like that, but we can look after it. So that's not a problem. We've also got across the road, if we've got any vegetation issue, we've got to take it from there, we can put it across there. Things like that. But it's just all hangs on the balance with everybody else, the way other things are going. What's happening with it. So
is anyone really opposing this?
not at the moment.
Well, what's the biggest hurdle to being there, in your opinion?
Rain.
We live on the coast.
Rain.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
The wetter it gets, at the moment, the wetter it gets, the more she's going to see all the water up there. So that's why I say rain. I really haven't got any hurdles at the moment.
That's a good
The only
thing.
thing with council is that we have meetings booked for March and they bring them forward to February.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. We're not ready for it. So
We're ahead of the game.
they're ahead of the game.
They're ahead of us.
That's it. That's good.
Everybody knows
Definitely ahead of
before we
us,
do.
so,
But you know, there's another complex that they're looking at doing it. You know, so it's you know, we're all in one together.
Exactly. Can you not sort of,
No.
all want a common?
No, answer that question straight away.
That doesn't make any
Been there,
sense.
done that. No.
Why would they try and get two tracks off the ground? Everyone should be on the same
Yeah,
page.
no, not two tracks, but everyone's of the same opinion. Something needs to happen. Surely, if it gets to,
Two's never going to work. People need to fall in the
That
line
is one of the biggest motorsport complexes.
and back this track.
That's going to be the biggest thing in the world.
It's massive. In Australia, don't have
Apart from
anything in it.
Perth.
Well, even Perth, that's got more than Perth.
Yeah.
So,
No, I go over to Doom Valley and that with Cortez over there, just, you know, with the dirt drags, they're getting bigger and bigger. Those top fuelers on dirt, excellent. They're absolutely, and I don't know if there's anybody going to get a set of tyres and it's going to drag in the bitumen, you know. I'd say that'll go in the books as a donation and whatever from there. You know, I don't think any tilt trade drivers here.
Lionel's supposed to be, he called me and he said he apologises up the other side of Childers.
Yeah.
Active towing, he wanted to be here. He wanted to let you know that he was in full support of this. And he'll have 2 or 3 trucks on the road by the time you guys get anywhere near what
Yeah.
and he was very keen to get involved in this.
So there's things like that where, you know, they might pick one up and they say, well, you know, take it, it's still a runner. And just leave it down there. Might be good for a junior car or something like that. Then if they do get one, it's good for a junior car. Well, that'll be a sponsorship on that car.
And that's what we're doing too. I'm building another junior car. My son races. He's the only actually Maryborough junior at the moment. So I've got another car. I'm building that up as a junior car, and we're going to let people they have a day licence and then go out there and have a go. So you know that's what we're all about: getting the junior guys from ground level and bringing them up and getting them going. So if Russell doesn't answer the phone, you got to forgive him because he's got a pensioner phone. And,
We ordered all that.
I'm not in the electronic.
track development, mate, like, okay, so we're going to build this big complex. Are you going to have inputs, like, you want each track to be at the top of this game, like, for instance?
Yeah, I do. I need input.
Concrete to 1,000, make it, you know, to really, highly competitive.
I'm
track
lucky
and
in an aspect where I'm good friends with Steve Harkin and Brad Harkin and Noel Harkin. Noel lives up here. and they've offered me their support, and Steve and that Brad built Riverbank. And I've got other guys in the States that'll fly out here.
So for the speedway back, you know, the banking and
Oh yeah, that's
the next to the trail.
yeah, that's I've got all that down. That's not a problem. I've got all that sort of stuff, and there's guys out there know I've had clay resource, everything. I know what I've got, but it's hard to get. You know, the clay that I might need, that might be up at Gladstone. I ain't going to pay to bring 40 trucks of clay down here. It's not worth it. I've got the whole place is full of that.
What I'm getting at, so the Nationals, we had a pro-stock meeting at the Narrabee. A lot of the guys didn't go because the track was basically unsafe.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you can't stop. So they're not going to bring Group 1 cars, although it's a drag strip. A lot of these guys will pay the entry level and they bring the support. It's got to be done right from the start.
Yeah, well,
It's got to be a fast track.
I've gone through a few things with a couple of guys. That down there's got to be dug out, 4 foot's got to be taken out in the road bases and road baits, and it's got to be concrete all the way through, and you can have a good problem. And it's got to be the special bitumen. Normal bitumen won't hold up. There's 2 types of bitumen they use in drag strip. I found all that out. I haven't spoken to some state. I haven't been getting involved with a lot of pricing and that because it's still touch and go.
The local business owners will be looking to support as it when it gets built. You know, like putting that out there.
Yeah, I put that up on Facebook yesterday.
Oh, just local.
Yeah.
So anybody, I got a few returns yesterday. I've started a database of that.
Yeah.
So there's a few lighting guys, there's electricians and that. I've just put them on the database. When we're ready to go, what we'll do, we'll just put a tender out to you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll talk, you know, it'll be pretty in depth. We'll give you the right plan. You know, you guys can quote on how many lights we need or whatever the go is. And then we'll just have a look at it. Might not be the cheapest or most expensive, but probably the best. So we want to try and use everybody that's local when we can.
Have you talked to any of the road crew companies and things like that? You
No
know,
one is yet.
well, SGQ's have just been bought out by Colas, and Colas is one of the largest road-based companies in Australia, all from overseas, and they're buying everything up and down the coast. But they've got a massive setup just down here.
Yeah. I think
mean,
once
these are guys are local. Right
once
here.
you get the go ahead and all that stuff, then I'll sit down and go, start getting pricing and all that sort of stuff and work out what goes where and everything like that. It's not as easy just to start talking to people. You've got to price and nut everything out.
You got to do just quantity.
Got to get soil testing done, everything. Excuse me, do you want to talk, Jared? or-
Can I say a couple?
Yeah, come
just
on.
firstly say thanks to Russell. I think everybody agrees that for some years we've been thinking about how we can get this sort of facility going. I was saying before, about 8 years ago when I was on the Maryborough Council, we started getting a group together about having a motorsports complex. And we had these big dreams, but we never quite had the group or the capacity or the permissions or the money to do it. So it's not about killing off any particular project or any particular person. It's about encouraging to see that this comes to fruition. The best thing that can happen for council is that we get invited to the opening. Frankly, I mean, seriously, we want to see this thing happen because not only is it good for motorsports and the enthusiast, but it's good for the next generation. I mean, you look at the young people who, if we can train them into to driving safely, if we can get them into the motor industry, into the car industry, if we can get the emergency services training, the B-double training, the driver training, and we get our motels filled, our restaurants, our cafes filled, we get people who are pumping fuel, doing it for more customers, we see more tourists, that's a great thing. So, Russell, thank you, because you've stepped up to the plate. You've understood the concerns that council might have and our regulations. You've done everything by the letter. We're working side by side with you to encourage. And I think what you've seen here tonight, you've seen people who are really enthusiastic. I mean, they're offering support and they're offering enthusiasm.
Yeah,
so you're in a good space here. So good luck.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's about it. Anybody want to ask me any questions? Everybody's been asking questions anyway, so we'll just keep asking whatever you want to do.
When are you going to open it?
Start tomorrow. I get people asking me how much a hot dog's going to be. That's just a normal sort of question. That's the sort of question I've been getting.
Is there a bar there?
What's that?
Build it first,
No, it's just what I think. There's not a complex. Everybody gets in there first is going to be there.
Have you talked to the police about this? Because I'd like to beat their car, whatever they get to bring
No,
out.
I've already spoken to it. stoppers.
Yeah, I hope they bring a drag car out so we can
Well,
destroy that.
I can't talk about that, but I'll talk about it later.
But I mean, they've got to be happy about this. All these young blokes here on the street who get their cars persecuted, they've got somewhere to take it and legally drive it.
They had one on the Gold Coast, I don't know if you remember years ago.
Yeah, down the drags.
Jap
Yeah,
sport
operated
out.
drags, yeah, with coppers, Commodore, yeah.
Well, every state in the US now has got beat the heat.
Even the army have their own drag car as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beat the heat, what's that, the coppers?
Yeah, they come up racing against the coppers.
Yeah.
Whatever level you've got, they've got a car to match that. And that's in every state. And that's, you know, I've spoken about that here. I've got
So really, you built two cars.
They're going to drive. They're going to take the handbrake off first.
So, yeah, basic things like that I'll be thinking. But, you know, there's no hurdles at the moment. We just got to get things done and just, you know, get things going up to the thing where it's having basic problem. So, I think
Sounds too good to be
We've had similar meetings, not as good as this, but we've had similar meetings over the last 20 years where Maryborough